Craig, my man, Craig. I love you, Craig. You're. Everyone should thank Craig. He's what makes the fish tank possible.
This crystal looking thing just died. I love this game.
Perish.
Concrete.
Oh, silly concrete.
Concrete. Anyways, yeah, what was Mia's thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not a Ninja Turtles guy, like, in the slightest. I've watched the Michael Bay movies, and I've watched that TMNT movie. But I haven't, like, indulged out of anything else in the franchise. I've been meaning to watch that pretty dope looking, I think it's called, like, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, like the animated one?
The newest animated one looks really cool, so I've been meaning to check that out. But Mutant Mayhem looked really cool. I don't know. It intrigued me from the trailers, just like the mostly the animation style. To be fair.
Oh yeah, the animation style looked great. It looked like a bit too rough for a second. I will say that.
Yeah, but it's like the graffiti look. You know, it's cool.
Yeah.
Really, the New York look. It's a cool aesthetic choice. And, like, yeah, you know me and Spider-Verse, so I was like, okay, it'll at least look cool. And I liked the voice actors they got to play the Turtles in the trailer.
They're actually kids?
Yeah, and they all sound really good.
And all of them actually have more in-depth personalities. I saw that, like, one of them apparently is an anime fan, so, like, he has, like...
That's fun.
He even wears a JoJo t-shirt at some point. Like, what am I supposed to do for this?
That's cute. I like that.
Okay. And really, I want to message my JoJo friend going like, guess what?
You'll never guess. So yeah, like, I am, like, more interested in checking it out at some point than I would be usually. Mia just got back from it and gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, sheesh.
Saying, like, it's gorgeous, and it has a lot of good parts, but it's just not very funny.
Not
and
surprised.
Has some wonky pacing. I'm still interested in checking it out, though, if only for the animation and the voice acting.
Yeah. Really, I've never... that's sad, but I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not surprised.
No, I mean, not really. But, like, I'm not a Ninja Turtles fan, so I guess I didn't really have any expectations for it. I was just like, oh, okay. All right. So, welcome.
On to Guardians 3.
Yeah, we're doing it. Holy crap. We're
the Guardians franchise.
Yeah, we decided to just do all 4 movies in one while I play Pikmin in the background.
And I play Gigabash in the background. We're going to get so distracted.
Oh yeah, no, this is going to probably transition into the Pikmin and Gigabash episode.
Mm-hmm.
When I get Mia to do the thumbnail, I might make them add, like, a Pikmin in there just for the fun.
You should.
It'd be funny.
Play with the high score wins.
Isn't that how games work?
Yeah. So there's a...
All right.
Did I just freaking die in first hit? So there's like a like a game mode. There's like a mini game mode. It's like a party game mode thing where it just does a bunch of random mini games. And I keep getting the one that's like the player with the high score wins. And I'm just playing against the CPU because I have no friends.
Me too. But then again, Pikmin is single player unless you're playing the side content, which I'm doing now. Because I've done everything else. All right. So Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the frickin' Galaxy. Stop frickin' killing me, you weird crystal monster. You know what you should do? You should... I'm not going to finish that statement.
Oh, you're allowed to say kill yourself on the pod.
Fictional crystal monster. I'm afraid of hurting its feelings.
I am too. I mean, crystal monsters are kind of scary. So yeah,
this podcast, the file originally corrupted. I believe that's what it was, right?
Yes, the file corrupted, so we couldn't release the original episode we had planned for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And it was really good. So that sucked. And so that's why we procrastinated so much on the Spider-Verse episode as well. That one took way too long to come out.
That did. I'm rubbing your belly, puppy.
It was a good episode. It was a good episode, but it took too long to talk about that movie. I haven't checked the views on it. Did it even do particularly well?
What movie? Sorry,
Spider-Verse? Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the film did phenomenal.
No, I mean our episode on it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think this is a podcast. That's housed on a YouTube channel that gets no active content.
All right, just making sure.
I think I checked. It was 45 views. Pretty good. Like the first one had about that much too.
It's pretty good.
So really, we did a good job.
We did amazing, is what you're telling me.
Phenomenal. Yes.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, so we're finally doing it. We're doing an episode on my favorite subsection of the MCU, Guardians of the Galaxy. I freaking love all three of these movies.
Really, honestly, I think all three are great. Maybe they're not much for me, but we'll describe when we get to my opinion on it. One of the first things I want to say about Guardians 3, something when I realized when I was watching it again, how early on in the movie they get to the High Evolutionary, legit. They're on Contour Earth within the first hour.
Yeah. I didn't when I was watching in the theater, that felt like a longer time to get to that point. But they leave to rescue Rocket within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, they are straight to the point with this movie.
It's good. Yeah, I mean the pacing is pretty.
It's pretty incredible, really.
Yeah, I mean I like it when movies kind of just get to the point,
Yeah, because really, what else could they have really done in the movie other than?
No, there's so much going on that I feel like it's important to get moving a little bit.
Just focus. What else could they have done that would have been important?
Not much. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what they could. I guess a recap of Infinity War a bit sooner could have been nice.
Oh yeah, it's
because there is one in there, but it's in the middle of the movie. It's when they're breaking into OrgoCorp.
Yeah, it's pretty, but that's 30 minutes in.
Yeah, so it's still not that late, but
I think they pretty early on in the movie they establish that they establish pretty early on that Gamora the whole thing. They don't fully explain it. I think it's important for Quill to say it directly to Gamora.
Yeah, it's true. So since we're talking about all three, we're doing the trilogy. I just want out of the gate, which one is your favorite?
Guardians 2.
Heck yeah! Let's freaking go!
Guardians 2 is the best. I think Guardians 3...
Guardians 3 is close second.
I'd say Guardians 3 is great. It's such a great expansion, but I have some problems with it, which I'm going to mention. I kind of mentioned it in the original recording about the ever-changing tone. How it's a complete tonal shift when the rest of the it would have been maybe a bit more welcome in my mind if each film was more separate, but the first two movies are so incredibly similar in tone and style. Then having the third one just be kind of different and in such a time jump, and the characters act a bit differently. Even though time has gone on.
I do want to bring up that that's not entirely the fault of James Gunn. And it's more so just the fault of it having to be part of a larger extended universe.
And like really, because it makes sense. Like if they James Gunn probably wanted to do Guardians 3.
For
like
sure.
Had it take place like just like 6 or so months after the first movie, the second movie. Sorry.
No, in fact, what's interesting, Gamora was initially going to die in Guardians 2, I've discovered.
Oh.
She was going to be the tragic death scene at the end.
That's interesting.
So I think that Guardians 3 was probably still going to happen pretty much the same, but replace. In my theory is that Gamora we wouldn't have alternate Gamora. We'd have Yondu, and Yondu's sacrifice would have been a 3 thing.
Interesting.
Is my
I like it more in 2 though. I like it more in 2.
I do too.
Because it fits with the theme of fathers.
I think too. I think they made the right call having Yondu be the focus of 2. It's my it's one of my favorite parts of that film.
And I think it's also great because like the whole connection between Yondu and Rocket does set up Rocket's backstory more.
It does. 3. And I think that's what I noticed watching all 3 back to back. This is like far and gone the most consistent trilogy in the entire MCU.
In quality, yes. In tone, still yes.
I know. But like there's not like a weak point in this trilogy. They're all at the very least
great movies.
Great. Yeah. There's no like cuz like I feel like, you look at like Doctor Strange is of course the one I'm going to bring up because I'm not over it. First one, bad. I really like the first one. Second one is like the most obnoxious MCU film in my opinion.
It's such a shift. It's so different, like I don't even want to.
It doesn't work either. It just doesn't work. So
hey,
bad.
puppy.
I think that and I guess like Spider-Man would be like the runner-up for most consistent. I feel like all of those are good.
Oh yeah, even like the multiverse thing was kind of built up in Far From Home, even though that was probably accidental. Like but it worked. It works. I'm of the head canon. Because I remember after Far From Home released, that like famous graphic designer who just designs fan stuff, he's the one who came up with the idea for Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire appearing in the movie. And I bet you Sony saw that and went, you know what? Let's do this. Because I don't think they... What?
I said you reckon because I'm Southern.
You reckon? Yes, I 100% believe that's what happened.
Like old man McGucket for a second.
Okay. I think that's what happened because I feel they were setting up for Sinister Six.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting. I am ultimately glad they went with the direction that they did because No Way Home's an excellent movie.
I think it's a great celebration of Spider-Man.
It is.
But that movie, it's a theater experience. It doesn't work at home as well.
I described it actually in my initial Letterboxd review of it as like Spider-Man's own personal Avengers Endgame, and I think that's the best way. That's the best way to describe it. Complete with the biggest villain coming back for like his round 2.
The biggest villains.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely like that was more hype than Endgame for me because I grew up with the Tobey movie. And
it's so good.
And tolerated the Andrew Garfield movies.
Even me as a person who never really liked those movies before, like I didn't see the Tobey Maguire movies until probably like a month prior. And I didn't really see I never saw the Tobey Maguire movies up until recently. And I didn't see I grew up with the Amazing Spider-Man ones, but I didn't really like those.
You poor baby.
Poor baby. There's a year separating us.
Yeah, true. I have very like specific memories because in my old house I had like this pretty dope setup of like a bunk bed and a little TV underneath with a bunch of DVDs. And Spider-Man 1 was the one I watched on repeat. Like I think that was easily my most rewatched movie at the time. going well.
It's a good movie.
It is.
Really, they are great movies. And really, because here's the thing, because I want to do a video, like because I'm like dedicated to my film club thing. Really, I'm like, I can't really do YouTube as much as I want. Like, I wish I could. But if I have a video idea, I'm gonna move forward with it. And I have a video idea for like, what is it? Like an essay on how Spider-Man really is the best, like, just hero. He's the best superhero. He works in so many environments. Like, he just had a multiversal story, and it works.
With high stakes and twists and all the things.
But, like, when they did that with any other hero, it doesn't work. I mean, like,
it wouldn't work with Batman or the Flash.
It didn't work with either of them in the same movie.
I cannot wait to watch the Flash.
Really, because
when it comes to HBO Max. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch it.
It's the last.
Just need to know.
It is the last DCU movie, so yeah, we mentioned doing like the DC Universe watch thing.
For sure, I still want to do that.
I want to do that too.
Just because I feel like we usually talk about things we're pretty positive on.
Let's talk about something
like except the very first one where he did Phase 4 of the MCU. But even I like Phase 4 just fine. I just don't like a lot of movies in it too. So
like even like I tolerate those movies. Aquaman, I despise in every single way.
The DCEU would be such a fun like hate episode.
I'm so glad that it's gone. Like it's dead. Because screw you, DC, you suck. Suicide Squad?
Tank.
What?
That's a transition because you know who owns the DCEU? It's James Gunn.
The DCU. Wrong one.
Oh right, sorry.
Anyways,
DCEU
back to Guardians.
Over and
back
dead.
to Guardians.
So I guess we should start with Guardians 1.
Fun movie. It's a great start.
I have a lot more to say about Guardians 1 now than I did initially. Because watching it next to the other two kind of opened my eyes a little bit to it. Because, like, I've always been of the opinion that it was the weakest of the three.
I still say it is the weakest of the three, but it's still a great movie. Like, it's...
Yeah, its positive elements, I don't think I truly appreciated. You know?
Because I feel like you compare the story about...
You can, like, Rocket's...
About...
Every line from Rocket in that film is now recontextualized.
Yeah. But also, I feel like, because with, like, the story with Peter Quill, like, he's coming over getting over the trauma with his mom. That doesn't really, like, that's not really brought up. It's kind of brought up in the end.
Yeah, and I think it works the way it is.
Yeah, like, it's fine. It does what it does.
And it's still super effective. It's undeniably powerful every moment with his mom.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful, but I feel like then with Guardians 2, the Tale of Fathers, I feel is way more impactful. And then 3 with the whole backstory.
Yeah, the emotional elements of Guardians 1 and of Guardians 2 and 3 are definitely more central to the plot than they are in 1.
And I feel in Guardians 2, the Guardians are like much funner to watch. As I rewatched Guardians 3, I'm gonna flat out say it. I feel they were like probably like the time I liked them the least, because as I noticed, they're yelling at each other most of the time.
They argue a lot more in 3,
and like
you know why. But I have a defense for that I want to. Okay, we're not going in order. We're just talking about all 3. We're talking about the trilogy as a whole. So I'll just say, I do have a defense for the Guardians arguing in 3, and it's something that I really caught on to on this rewatch. The absence of Rocket, you feel.
Yeah, I love Rocket.
You realize with that one, he is the heart.
Guy.
He's also the heart of the group.
And Nebula kind of tries to, but she fails.
I love Nebula, man.
She's great.
That movie made Nebula for me. She's always been a character I liked. I remember even wanting her to be the one to kill Thanos initially. But God, man, yeah, Rocket. Rocket is the heart
G.
of the Guardians. He's the top G, which is an Andrew Tate reference, and I apologize for that.
I hate Andrew Teat. Teat?
Andrew
I hate
Titties.
Titty? I hate him so much. He's really. I don't like the mindset that like
a deplorable,
that he provokes.
Deplorable human being.
It's a mindset I completely like disagree with. Why like thinking that you're limiting yourself, but whatever. Let's not talk about him.
No, yeah, that's nice. Sorry, I just watched a deep dive on Andrew Tate, so I got him a little on the mind. I watched like an hour-long video about like all the things he did and said. So, oh crap! Sorry, Pikmin.
Man got pigment.
Anyway, so yeah, Rocket is the heart of the group, and I think all the characters being so.
Because you can tell that the family is like it's struggling because it's missing someone who's important to them all.
Yeah, exactly, and I think I'm willing to defend them being more on edge because I really like that, you know.
And I get what you're saying with all of that. I really just wish it wasn't like
it can be a little
much.
It can be a little uncomfortable to watch at times.
With Gamora, not with Gamora. Sorry, with like Nebula and Drax when they were on the High Evolutionaries like pyramid, like that's like it just got a bit annoying to me. Like
I find the Mantis bullying the most out of character part of it all.
Oh yeah,
why is she suddenly the butt of the joke and like everyone hates her? I don't get it. It's pretty. It leads to funny moments. I did laugh a couple times at it, like particularly "Are we still pretending to be mad, Mantis? You asshole!" That one's funny, but it doesn't make much sense because Mantis saved the day in Guardians 2.
Yeah, Drax and Mantis have always had like a unique connection.
Yeah, I know. They have a very fun connection. Not a romantic one, which I appreciate. They are an excellent male-female friendship. They're underrated, for sure.
They're underrated.
There's a reason they're the main characters of the holiday special. Because their comedic chops...
They're just fun to watch, too.
They have a great dynamic. And I want to talk about... And 2... I think here's the thing. I think critically, 3 is the best one. But I think 2 just like caters to my like what I enjoy out of a movie more.
I feel 2 is more stylistic.
And 2 has the best action scene in the MCU, and I stand by that.
Come a little bit closer.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Man. So big and so strong. Come a little bit closer. Really, that action scene inspired me to like just it's one of those scenes that like I love movie making just because of how good it is.
That is my favorite action scene in film. Let's go with film.
You know, I'm gonna say in film too. It's so good.
Just the energy. It's inspiringly good.
They're literally killing like tons of people and just
Sorry. Your audio cut out at like the funniest time. Like they're killing hundreds of people. It's just man. Yeah, it's so good. That scene, like I remember in the theater even.
I wish I could like remember that experience.
I do.
Like, really.
Guardians 2, that was one of my best theater experiences ever. I cherish that memory. It was such a good one. It was so good. Because I was really excited to watch it because I freaking loved the first one, you know? But man, yeah, I too. Because I didn't watch the first one in theaters, so I was really excited to watch a Guardians movie in theaters. And it made me bawl my freaking eyes out.
It's so sad.
Which, by the way,
puppy.
That was like the first time I cried at a movie. I think, like to that extent. The only other like piece
I think was No Way Home for me personally, but that's when I became mature and I really liked movies. Like really, I've always loved movies. But like I think it's really like I wish I could go back and re-experience some of these movies so I could like appreciate it for the real quality it was.
For the first time, like, yeah.
Other than just mindless entertainment that I've like kind of treated it to be.
Sure, I completely agree. I'd love to go back and watch Star Wars for the. I don't know if I would actually, because
Force Awakens, bro.
Dude, that was a good one. That's a good. I feel like everyone had a good Force Awakens experience.
No, that I don't care what anyone says about that movie. That the experience alone of being a kid and like seeing Star Wars come back to the big screen, that changes your life.
Yeah, for sure. For me too. So, obviously I am a absolutely massive Star Wars fan. You know this about me. You know, I like pretty much all the Disney Plus shows, which I know is a hot button issue. I've enjoyed all of them. I can see the flaws, but I've enjoyed all of them. And I don't think I'd be that way if it wasn't for Force Awakens and that experience.
Well, I think that's like really such a strong experience like that just sticks with you.
It does. It really does. And it was a really good one. What? Sorry. Yeah, I really enjoy, yeah, I mean, so yeah, with Guardians 2, we drove out to this, like, really fancy theater that was, like, a few hours away.
It was like me when I saw Oppenheimer.
So that alone was, like, enough to make it more memorable. But it was also just, like, the movie was so good. Like, I think I was willing to call that my favorite movie for a hot minute. Not anymore, I watched Knives Out. But
you watch Knives Out, your life changed after that.
No, yeah, for real. But yeah, it was easily like, and it still is like top 10. I mean, I really just like, it's a comfort film, you know. It's a comfort film.
It's like it's a movie that just you know you can watch and make you happy like that. I feel like Guardians 2 is one of those for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as proof, I have watched it like tens of times.
Tens of times.
I'm obsessed with it.
And I feel just Guardians 2, just Guardians 3 just doesn't match that for me. Like it just didn't have that for me. And I feel because it is a more mature film, and I think that's probably why there was so much of the tone changes. Because like as I'm thinking about now, it's like it deals with something that's like super dark. Like
yeah,
the previous movies are dark, but it wants to handle it in a completely different way.
Yeah, I see people saying that a lot. I see people like acting like it is like, which it is very serious, but
it's not the darkest movie. No,
it doesn't, and it also doesn't ditch the Guardians tone. Because like there were a lot of really funny jokes.
It's just like the '60s love songs, no longer.
Well, it's also that romance is less of a focus.
Romance is less of a focus, and it actually because you think a majority of the songs that play are like rock songs that are about break and being depressed.
I know, yeah. There's a lot more like sad songs because Rocket is freaking dying.
It's such a tonal shift when the first two movies were such alike.
Yeah, it's true. But I think if any series earned it with these characters, to have a big like dark finale, it's Guardians.
And at least think that they had its fun with it because Orgo Corp was so freaking funny. Reasons by Earth, Wind, and Fire playing was so funny.
Dude, every single joke in Orgo Corp is funny. Just everyone.
Okay, I have one of those. I have a stupid friend too.
I love that so much.
Nathan Filoni.
Hey, it's cool. I get it. I have one too. It's so funny. I love that Peter like goes to seduce the guard, and it works.
It's the movie. It's because really it still has its fun. So it still has that Guardian's charm.
Oh my god, the scene where Mantis makes the security guard fall in love with Drax.
It was so
fails to
uncomfortable.
make me laugh.
Like that.
My name is Bleedle Snort.
It seems like that, which like just you love the Guardians.
No other could do it. No other Marvel series could do it. They would try, but they couldn't do it.
So entertaining, really. I feel like I'm missing something from
Oh my
it.
god, Star-Lord's drawing of the guy they need to capture.
Yeah, that was improvised by Star. Like,
I
Chris Pratt. He
know
did that himself.
It's so funny.
And it made sense that it would be drew by him, but it's just the fact that he just went ahead and did it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like he just took 15 seconds to do it, and it was honestly pretty
I want
funny.
that on a shirt. Oh man, dude,
It's such a funny movie, really. Like I was still kind of laughing. And the first ever MCU F-bomb still, it just kind of gets me.
It was just for a joke. It wasn't
Open the
even
freaking door.
It wasn't even serious. It was just for a joke. That makes it better.
And it makes me I hope James Gunn does Superman Legacy right.
I think he will. This seems to be a real passion project for him.
I think it is.
I'm not worried about it.
But I just something of like.
And the cast looks great.
Imagine they just like. Okay, it's so funny. For months, Twitter was like, "Oh, who's going to be the next Superman? Who's going to be the next Superman?" And then it gets announced, and I see like no one cares. No one cares.
It kind of just looks like younger Henry Cavill.
Yeah, it looks like him, and just I don't know. I feel maybe just because he kind of a bit overhyped it with like, I want him to be a person that you can walk up to and hug. And maybe like I was like maybe expecting more with like the face, like, but then I realized I didn't know who would be that type of person. I think we'll have to see how he acts, and that'll set the stone for me. I don't want another stale face Superman. I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't like Henry Cavill much in the role. I'm sure he's a fine enough person, but I don't. I was never invested in his take on Superman.
Yeah,
he was just kind of boring.
There was a TikTok with like a dude who dressed as Superman. He just walks around and he's hugging people, and like Starman by was it Johnny Blue plays? I probably said the wrong name. I'm so sorry.
Isn't Starman David Bowie?
David Bowie, not Johnny Blue. Who even is Johnny Blue?
I don't know.
Just kind of made that name up.
Johnny Blue.
I know, like what? Think of who.
Bowie. We're adding Rocket Raccoon giving a high five to Johnny Blue in the thumbnail.
Johnny Blue. Johnny Blue.
Legend Johnny Blue.
Who even is Johnny Blue? Like I swear I just made that up.
Who? Johnny Blue. Oh god, that's funny. That's so funny.
It's like I just feel this movie like it's still great though. And Holiday Special, really, it's such a fun movie too. I love. I
don't see enough people talking about the Holiday Special.
It's because Marvel.
People talking about it.
Because the whole Marvel thing on Disney Plus has failed horribly.
I don't care. The Holiday Special is freaking great.
Like hilariously, it's performed so bad. They flat out said that they're no longer going to be doing the Marvel Studios special presents. They've only done 2 of them.
That's a bummer.
Which is sad because Werewolf by Night was great. It deserved much more praise.
I've heard you say Werewolf by Night was great. The Guardians. I think that was like the way to go for like if you wanted to.
Holiday Special was the best though. Really, it's
like I feel like the special presentation things were the way to go for like shorter, smaller scale stories. I wish they kept them going.
Just don't make them cost $60 million. A
little disappointing to me.
Yeah, because they cost so much to do, and they just put too much money into them, so they weren't financially profitable. I mean, that was the problem with what was it? Like, yeah, Secret Invasion cost $35 million an episode.
That is gross.
Like, what even, like, I get it, A-list actors, but, like, didn't half them die like during the show. It's like the show, there's nothing special.
Is it good, by the way?
No, it's awful. It's actually now the lowest rated MCU thing. Like it beat Eternals.
Oh shoot! Oh wow! I actually thought it had some potential, and then I saw that they used AI to make the intro, and I just lost all faith in anything ever again.
Even funnier. You want to know something even funnier about it?
What?
Now I can't remember. Oh yeah, you know it's supposed to be a political spy thriller that's grounded and realistic.
Let me guess. It's not grounded or realistic.
It was until the final battle where it was a big CGI mess where the Skrulls could replicate the powers of people. So then
where have I heard that one before? Oh yeah,
they do Captain Marvel powers. It's so funny. Like, and now like she's like the character they introduced to do this is now like the strongest character in the MCU. And like, yeah, either she'll be killed by Kang like 2 seconds into the next Avengers movie, or they'll forget about her. What the heck? Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's probably what I mean. Look, they did that with Captain Marvel too, where they built her up for a long time and they introduced her, and all the hype.
Then she just kind of exists.
Kind of just wasn't in Endgame at all. Like she had a couple scenes. she saved Tony Stark in the first act. And then didn't do anything after that? Were you always here? Yeah. Alright. Sorry, I had to kill some whip-tongue bulborbs. I don't like them.
I don't like them bulborbs.
Oh, those bulborbs. You need to play Pikmin. That's the next.
I don't have a Nintendo console. I have an Xbox.
Shut up!
It's so funny how like I had to what I did, like I legit like fixed my basement. Like I spent the whole like Friday putting it together just so I could like get my Xbox like in working condition in a room that's not filled with junk just to play this game. Which, by the way, if anyone's listening, it's $25. It's a great game.
And Pikmin 4 is not that, but it's even better, so get it.
It's even better. It's funny how, like, really, people say how slow Nintendo is. But, like, I swear, when they are slow with their games and don't market them and hype them up too much, they end up being, like, phenomenal.
Well, everyone was saying Pikmin 4 wasn't getting the right amount of hype before it was, like, time to hype it.
Then it became literally, like, such a great game.
Yeah, in the month leading up to it, though, it was being marketed everywhere, so I don't even agree with that. Is the ship part? Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, crap. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what we were talking about before the tangent. Oh yeah,
I can hear the Pikmin in the background.
Secret Invasion.
Bad show. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Teehee. AI does not belong in Hollywood. Support the striking actors. Ha ha ha. Actors and writers.
Oh, if you do want any news involving the strike, the union leaders, by the way, union leaders, not strike captains.
Oh crap! Sorry.
Because we're supposed to meet with company heads last Friday, and no news about it has happened since.
Uh-oh.
And it makes me think that one or the other didn't show up, and I'm going to be honest here, neither of them did. Just knowing how the two have acted around each other and acted like children.
Neither of them respect each other. One side is more justified in that than the other, but
really, I'd say like really the companies I still think are a big problem, but like I'm not gonna say let's get mad at Hollywood companies, the big greedy Hollywood companies for being big greedy Hollywood companies, and act like a union which controls 90% of the Hollywood writing trade isn't greedy themselves. Because they can.
But like,
it's
always. I think it's like it's a little belated. I feel like because I see people saying there's a lot of misinformation being spread as well.
I will
do want to
say
mention.
though, I still think the writers themselves deserve more, and the companies can provide that. I'm just saying that like I don't agree. I don't think that the union is so clean either. But I full on want the writers to be like loved and supported and getting what they get what they need to make the quality content they need to, because they've been pulling
Not
out
just
some
quality
pretty bad
content,
stuff.
not just quality content, but like
Living wages.
afford to live in the one place you can do work. It's a little ridiculous.
Because I'm going to say this: stop using residual checks for streaming services.
Oh god.
Do it because that the residual checks is the problem. And they agreed to do the residual checks. It makes sense that every single streaming thing is bombing, so they're not making money, which is why they're striking.
I heard
I mean,
that Phil Lamar, who's a legendary voice actor, like got a bunch of residual checks like really late. He's just like, oh, where were these when I needed them?
it's because the companies.
Yeah.
I will say the companies, they file them, they go to the union, but then they go to the writers. So the union gets it first, but
Yeah.
still, like
They were just holding on to Phil Lamar's residual checks, which is
I think it's the companies
bad.
because the companies I still think are the big problem. But it's because
Of
don't get me
course.
wrong, I want people to be good, but it's
not.
it's still the companies, because I know by saying that, and like I can imagine a cancel culture tweet going like, "You don't support the union." No, I do. I just say let's not act like the union leaders aren't greedy too.
Sure, I can completely respect that.
But nonetheless,
I think they
residual
are.
checks don't work. Residual checks don't work. Plain and simple.
No, bad decision. Don't use them anymore.
Yeah, stop it, because I get it.
Area.
Like I get it. Like, and I see why getting rid of them isn't the some of the writers will disagree to doing residual checks, because then if a project does super well, they get more money, which I completely understand that. But would you rather be safe with a set wage that you can like that is consistent and predictable, or live off of something that could very well bomb? Because like when the dude who was writing She-Hulk thought She-Hulk was going to be such a huge success, then it bombed. Then it bombed. Like, it's.
By the way, have you heard that like She-Hulk was written by, or was created by the person who wrote the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty?
Steve Ditko, right? Or something, whatever. No, not Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko is the classic Marvel writer. What's his name?
Yeah,
Dan
I
Slott?
was about to say.
Dan Slott, yeah. Dan Slott is such a bad writer. Unless you mean the writer for the show.
Yeah, for the show.
Okay, so I was thinking
I don't know the name.
The comic writer. The comic writer is Dan Slott.
No, yeah, the She-Hulk series was written by the person who wrote the Pickle Rick episode.
Not surprised. Here's the thing: Marvel's been hiring Rick and Morty writers. It's so funny.
I know! Like, what a weird place to scoop people up from.
Because, like, I get it, they did a multiversal show, but it's a multiversal adult show that's
Prude,
not...
and that's like that's the appeal.
Yeah, that's really the whole thing.
Doesn't take anything seriously, and is meta.
Yeah. Really, honestly, their best writer is like their best writer that they have from the Rick and Morty crew they got, I would say, is Michael Waldron.
Yeah, I like Quantumania.
No, that's Jeff Loverstein. They did Jeff Loverstein is actually a comic book writer who actually got fired from Marvel. He was supposed to be doing the net like Avengers Kang Dynasty. You want to know why he got fired? Because it turns out he was the dude who was leaking Marvel Studios information.
Ah!
remember when the Quantumania script got leaked?
Yeah,
that was him. That was him. That was him.
Oh
who did
my
it.
lord! Why would you do that? He had a cushy gig. Okay, that's funny.
That was pretty. Like, he kind of just messed up his whole career. But
yeah, good job. You're never getting hired on anything ever again.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get flat out blacklisted now because Marvel has such a big say in the community.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they make a lot of them. They have a lot of films. That's interesting. Oh, weird. Sorry. Yeah, what else is there? I missed. Hmm. Uh, what's his name? So, who's the guy who wrote Doctor Strange? I'm trying to remember his name.
Michael Waldron.
Okay.
So like I wouldn't say his writing's good, but he's better than the others. Because Loki, at
Is
least.
he?
Because Loki was okay, and they're making
But Doctor Strange was
season
the
2.
worst.
Season 2 of Loki does look good though. And at least it's made on cheaper budget, so like if it bombs, it won't bomb as hard.
It won't be like a devastating failure. I think I said this last episode. I guarantee the Marvels isn't going to do well.
Oh, it's like it has a chance where if it turns out to be good, like if it's like 90 minutes to 2 hours,
I just don't.
If it's a fun family
movie, talking about. I don't see anyone talking about it.
I think there's one chance of it being talked about. If it's just a fun movie that's short and people can watch it, it's not a serious commitment. But thing is, it already is because you need to watch like 12 Disney Plus shows for it at this point.
Oh yeah, because it has Miss Marvel and the lady from
Monica Rambeau, and you need to watch Secret Invasion too because Secret Invasion is tied to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is great. Which is so funny. Secret Invasion was hyping up. Oh, Nick Fury's gonna die, but then they say Secret Invasion takes place after the Marvels. No, sorry,
what?
Marvels takes place after Secret Invasion. Even though, so I guess this means Nick Fury's gonna be alive.
Oh, was there like a near death scene or something? I'm not watching Secret Invasion. How does it end?
It's bad. That's just all I'm gonna say. It's bad. It's kind of funny. It makes the whole thing with Secret Invasion is that it's like, oh, the Skrulls are invading America, like the government and like the world governments because they feel they've been mistreated. And then
well, that's kind of their whole thing in Captain Marvel, wasn't it?
But to make it even funnier, their situation at the end gets even worse. Because Nick Fury's like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to your enemies who tried to kill you, like hunt you down for generations after you just tried to, take us out.
Okay, hold on. So I don't like the whole like people getting mad at when stories use like pacifism because it's a good message. It's not a bad thing.
I like pacifism. I like it.
Out of all the characters, Nick Fury.
Yeah, and even funnier, what did the Skrulls literally just tore the entire world apart? The world is in ruin now. Half the government, like people in power are like have been replaced for years or are just flat out dead.
That's not great. That's not. I don't get weird. That's a strange writing decision.
Yeah, and it's so bad. We've just it's funny.
I've seen that image of the one character with like the weird arm that everyone was like, "This is the worst CGI in Marvel history," but like, no, it's not.
Roll with the Drax arm. Yeah, Emily Clark's character. Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's because she had for some weird reason she can have the powers of like a lot of the superheroes, but like they need apparently they have the Nick Fury has the blood of all these characters, but like a lot of these characters like they get powers from like how would Nick Fury have their blood? Like most of them aren't even Avengers. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and even remember what's his name? Ebony Maw, like the magic dude on like the Thanos' team.
Yeah.
How did they get his blood? How?
Wait, what? What are you talking
about? His body's in space.
They have his blood?
Apparently, because that's how at one point during the battle, like her enemy dude somehow uses that against him.
He has 2 fates, if I remember correctly. One of which is being stranded in space to die.
He's already dead.
And the other is getting Thanos dusted.
Thing is, he's dead. Then there's no way they got his body because by the time this would have happened, this is 6 to 7 years after Infinity War at the very least.
Weird. That's strange.
So like his body would be flat out unrecoverable because or whatever because it would have been completely frozen out.
It's a Ravager funeral.
Maybe his blood would have been salvageable or something, but
I like that this started as Guardians, but then became Modern State of Hollywood and
MCU slander.
MCU slander the sequel.
Like, what did he do? Nothing. Like, how? He's somewhere lost between Earth and Titan. So, like, there's no way you can feasibly get him. Like, he's so lost. Like, you can't find him. That's so much space to search through. And it's not like it's not like there's nothing in the space. There's meteors and asteroid and garbage, probably because there's already enough garbage around Earth. Now imagine interstellar travel.
Right. Huh. That's one of the weirdest MCU writing decisions I've ever heard in my life.
And even funnier, that was Kevin Feige's idea to do that.
What?
Like, have these
Kevin, you hack!
have these characters and like this battle be between Skrulls who can use powers of heroes.
Well,
like I get it.
Thing with the Super Skrull in the comics.
Yeah, it's the Super Skrull. But thing is, like, it doesn't work in the tone of the show, which they were so dead set on for the majority of the show.
Get over. Huh. That's weird. That's there's no other word for it. It's a strange decision.
So weird.
I don't get it.
I really don't like it at all.
I feel like that's the case with most of the MCU shows that come out now. What's next? After the Marvels? What's the next thing?
I don't even know anymore. Well, Loki season 2, the Echo show, which that's gonna be dropping all at once. But even worse, they're considering dropping it. Well, it's because it's so expensive to have it be weekly sometimes, and they know that's
how you keep people interested. Okay.
But thing is, will people actually be interested in the show? Like, if it's good, but here's the thing. There are like reports from within Disney that like legit they are so like they think it's so bad. Like they're thinking like they're considering Batgirling it, like just flat out removing it from existence.
Don't freaking do that.
Even though I don't agree with it, that says something because now if Disney's doing that, we are so dead. It is Joe over.
Yeah, it is. It's Jover. Oh, that's. Oh no. Oh no. I guess here's my thing. I don't care if it's bad because that is a worse business practice.
The way they do that is like the way how like they legally do it. Legally, the show didn't exist or something like that because now the people who worked on it cannot like even refer to them as working on that show. Like that's what happened to Infinity Train. Like legally, the person who like the people who made like the Infinity Train can't say they worked on it because technically speaking, the show never existed.
It's scummy. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's so cheap.
It's just gross. It's just gross. Ugh, it's horrible. Well, that would suck. Echo. Who is Echo, by the way? I'm trying to remember.
It's the deaf girl from Hawkeye.
Okay. Oh, I didn't watch Hawkeye, but...
So yeah, really, that's what I mean. Like, really, people liked Hawkeye for Hawkeye, but really, she's a character that, like, people are just like, oh, okay.
Okay. I know, there was, like, a little bit of hype within my friend group because I know the actress is actually deaf, and that's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool, but, like, I have to see the show first because...
Right.
From what I know, they're turning the show into something more than just what it's supposed to be.
Oh no.
We're like, so here's the thing, they're set on making it be like her learning about her Native American heritage, which is cool. But then like okay, that's cool and all, but it sounds like Daredevil's gonna be in like a third of the show as a cameo. It's like, so then you're not even committing to the thing you committed to talking about. Because what does Daredevil have to do with that idea at all?
Nothing.
And like I get it because Daredevil born again, but whatever, but like
yeah, I think that's one of the major problems with the MCU right now. It's not really confident in its new characters.
Yeah, it's Like,
it's a lot more like, here's the characters we know are going to get people excited, like Daredevil.
yeah,
So
it's
that's
like,
what they're gonna insert them into every facet. Like, I didn't watch the She-Hulk show because I
oh yeah,
like myself. But Daredevil didn't need to be in that.
yeah, and even worse, they turned Daredevil into a love
Love
like a
interest.
love
Which
interest.
is strange.
That's the worst choice because he literally has a love interest, and it's not She-Hulk.
So
She-Hulk,
if you're lonely, why
I get
just
it.
say you're not lonely?
Like, I get it in like one of the comics or whatever, Daredevil was a love interest, but was that comic good? No.
But it was a reference to a thing, so people are gonna go, wow, this show really gets comics or something. Because
Yep.
apparently that matters.
Because the comics suck. Because I mentioned Dan Slott, who made the She-Hulk comics. He was
He the
talking
guy
about
who killed off Kamala Khan and made everyone mad.
yeah, because
Okay, cool.
why
He's
did
a creep.
Kamala Khan? Yeah,
He's
he is.
a creep too.
And so he was saying like, oh, She-Hulk is like comic accurate because I wrote the majority of She-Hulk comics, and like I want to
Oh, that
say so
explains a
bad
lot.
because they suck. Because they suck. That's why.
Oh god, it's. I know that Marvel Comics right now not doing great in terms of just being like good.
Okay, the Moon Knight comics are good, but that's it.
Well, Tank, to be fair, I can't really take your thoughts on Moon Knight seriously because you are a little bit biased.
I know, but here's the thing: the Moon Knight comic run that's going on right now is like officially one of the longest Moon Knight comic runs. It's had tons of spin-offs because it's so successful.
Okay.
Like if it's like here's the thing, if there's a new Moon Knight comic or whatever, it has to reference like it makes sure to reference the events of what happens in these ones because it's such a popular comic.
That's kind of cool.
And what I like about the comics that they're not too self-serious and like, oh, we're the best because they even like they take aspects of the like the original comics that like people didn't like and like change them.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tired.
I am too.
Oh, this is the most low energy we've ever been on this show.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
It's fine. It's an okay episode. We'll keep it.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Craig is just chilling. How long has Craig been recording?
No, let's find out.
For about
58 minutes. All right. But we still gotta fill some time.
50 minutes or 15? 50, I presume.
50.
50. Okay.
15. Tank. You hack.
Sorry, my time doesn't work with me. Yeah, my dog. Yes, that's my dog. It's Marvel screwed. James Gunn is gone. Like one of their best people is gone.
Dude, you can like feel in any time Kevin Feige mentions James Gunn, you can feel him like writhing in his old man boots.
Yeah,
like I'm so happy for James Gunn and his amazing new career opportunity. I look forward to seeing what he makes. Yeah.
Like I know Kevin's serious on that because him and James Gunn actually ended up being pretty good friends. From what James Gunn claims. But like I don't know about that for sure, but like it's kind of funny how it like Kevin knows something. Like Kevin knows. There's no way he doesn't know what's going on. Like
right.
And he's probably like honestly scared because he can really lose his like they can fire him if they need be.
And which I don't want to happen. I like Kevin Feige. He seems like a good dude. I want him to keep his job.
If he continues to not do well, I actually like I get it that he built the whole MCU, but how long has it been since the MCU's actually been like decently profitable?
Yeah, like obviously Endgame was a insane success, and like since then,
I think
there have been successes. No Way Home did really well. Doctor Strange did really well. Guardians did really well, but
we're talking about like the reception and the people have been losing interest. They want something new.
And James Gunn briefly gave them exactly what we needed. But now he's gone.
Yeah. And like even like Ryan Coogler, who did like even like Black Panther, as much as I thought that was good, I realized people like are getting tired of like I'm gonna be real here. Black Panther 3 probably wouldn't do well.
No, I mean, I feel like a lot of Black Panther 2 success, and I did watch it and I liked it, just to clarify.
To respect Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, a lot of it was like curiosity and on Chadwick.
And, like that's why I watched it, because I wanted to see what it would do.
That's why I didn't want to watch it. I thought it was gross to make a Black Panther movie without Chadwick, and ultimately it turned out good.
Yeah. Thing is, Chadwick wanted the franchise to continue without him, but I feel people like after my family saw it, they're like, it just doesn't feel right. And even though like they said like I get that it was trying to respect him and everything, it just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't, and it definitely kind of ickied me out. Like when the trailers were coming out, and again, ultimately it turned out good.
Yeah, like it was a great story about losing people and like how to deal with that. I love that and how it turned that into a superhero story. Incredibly good, but I feel it's done. But I feel Marvel is afraid to do that because they were building a whole mini universe for Black Panther.
It's true. Black Panther was one of the biggest like spin-off people.
Yeah, it was the biggest spin-off. Like right off the gate, it made $1.5 billion.
Yeah, it was insanely successful. For good reason, obviously.
For good reason. It's a great movie and people loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it got nominated for Best Picture, right?
I believe so.
That doesn't happen. I part of me is like, I want Guardians to be nominated for Best Picture, but it's not gonna.
I'm gonna be real here. I know 3 movies that'll be nominated for it already. I know for sure.
Oppenheimer.
Okay, Oppenheimer. Okay, 4. Oppenheimer's gonna get nominated for sure, but it's gonna be Dune Part 2. Oppenheimer.
Was Dune Part 1 nominated?
It won Best Picture.
Oh shoot!
Even though it's such a bad movie, it's just because the Oscars just love Denis Villeneuve or whatever because he disses the MCU. Like I'm gonna be real here, he's okay. He's okay, but he's overrated. They act like he's like this great dude. He is not that good.
You're sounding like Tate a little bit. He hates Denis Villeneuve, which is how you pronounce his name.
Oh, I don't know how to say it. His movies are boring and they're long. Like I get it, like they are quality movies, but
that's Oscar bait.
Best movie, like the best picture should be movies that are great but also entertaining. Like Oppenheimer's 3 hours, but I was invested every second of that movie from the start.
I get you. No, I agree. Which is why, like, when it comes to Oscars, I mainly pay attention just to see what they missed out on. Yeah. Like last year, Glass Onion, by far the best movie last year, nominated for one thing. And it wasn't Best Picture. It was like Best Adapted Screenplay. Didn't get Best Director. Didn't get Best.
It's because
picture,
it's just because streaming movies normally are kind of ignored, but it deserved better. Really, I almost said Ryan Coogler. Rian Johnson. I don't like him for Star Wars. Like his Star Wars, I still don't know how to feel about Last Jedi. Like after all these years, I still changed my opinion. But he's a great director.
I think
he's a great director.
Yeah, nothing can be questioned about his directing. Everything he makes is freaking gorgeous. Oh my god!
He has so much fun too. Like,
sorry, got a jump scare.
Okay, so yeah, back to Oppenheimer, Dune Part 2. I'm gonna be honest here. I think Across the Spider-Verse is gonna be nominated.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
I know it's because the Oscars hate animated movies, but I have a feeling that after like Across being such a phenomenon,
you know what was a little bit more of a phenomenon though? You know what was a little bit more of a phenomenon?
What?
The first one, which didn't get nominated.
Fair point, but it was at the cutoff date. Remember? It released in late December.
Stupid.
Yeah, I here's the thing. I want to see that happen.
Okay, it wasn't even nominated for Best Director, though. It was only nominated for the animation category, which it won, but still.
It's because the Oscars just
they
think,
can
oh, an animated...
themselves. They can make it work. They can do it, but
that's what I
don't
think.
so.
I think a cross can fit. I think a cross can fix that. If it doesn't, then nothing can. Okay, then maybe Beyond the Spider-Verse, but like
that's your last chance. You have 3 strikes.
You have 3 strikes, and then like we ain't taking you seriously anymore.
I mean, I already don't. But yeah. Kill it! Die! Okay, I did it.
Yeah, we all know Across is going to win Best Animated Movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like that this has turned into the Oscars now.
Yeah, we just talk about whatever.
At
this point, let's just change this into talking about anything.
Sure, with like a slight entry point. We'll do more specific episodes, especially for like TV shows, because gotta talk every episode. We'll do.
When we do the DC one, when we do the DC one, which I'm just waiting for the Flash to release.
We'll go movie by movie again, like we did with the Phase 4 episode.
And then maybe talk about, like, if we want to, My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah! Oh, dude, it's so good. I really love My Adventures with Superman. It's been so fun.
Really, I'm like seeing great things about it, but like people are just being people sometimes about this show.
Yeah, I've seen some criticism. I don't really agree with it.
I love the internet some days.
It's fun. Last episode was weird though. I will say that. Just in the concept, because it introduced Brain and Monsieur Mallah or whatever his name is, who are lovers. I didn't know that. That's a comic thing I was unaware of. So I was just like, what is happening right now?
It's my dog. She's being a dog.
Yeah, they do that.
Okay, but I saw a clip from it where like Superman saves Lois from have you seen the latest episode? Lois? I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, I've seen every episode. I'm keeping up.
And it completely tears his shirt, but not his pants. I found that so funny, even though some bullets, like you could see because it's from the side, like go towards his lower half. And then also the fact that his chest just becomes like super oily.
It's funny. It's funny.
It is because it's a kid show. Come on, it's.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that this is like Lois and Clark's relationship, and this is one of the most
is the highlight. It is the highlight.
They're so fun. They're the most aggressively I've shipped something in a long time.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
But okay, here's the thing. That's like really the only kind of Max exclusive that's released since Velma.
I know. By the way, night and day.
What's night and day?
No, I just mean the comparison here is night and day.
Oh yeah, night and day.
Superman and Velma is funny. Because this show is actually good. I have one more ship part to get, but I don't know how to get it. Is that hard? Oh, I think I figured it out. Never mind.
I don't know. It's weird. And really, Marvel's gonna, I'm gonna be real, Marvel's gonna fall off. By the time the next Avengers
you
movie
fell
happens,
off, Marvel.
No one will care.
It's true. I don't think Kang Dynasty... Well, okay, I see a prediction a lot where it's like, nobody cares until Avengers comes. So we'll see if that holds any weight.
They're gonna see it, and they're gonna like all this stuff has happened, and they're not gonna be attached to the story. Like they might go see the first one, but then like they won't be attached to the story because it's still multiverse, and people are really tired of like Marvel multiverse already. Like Spider-Verse works because it plays the gimmick and it plays it well with the art styles. But
it's also its own vibe, just entirely.
It is, but like just with the live action, it just don't work. Because then people are like, oh, so then what's next? So they got to save every universe. and they're just gonna go with that probably. And like knowing the writers who were on it, it's the same people who've already made pretty bad stuff at Marvel. I'm like Jeff Loverstein was
I have a
writing.
suggestion. I have a suggestion for Secret Invade or for Kang Dynasty.
Who
A writer's recommendation. I should do it. Me. I should be hired to write Kang Dynasty.
we should be hired to do it. We'll do it together. I'm the dude who knows the comics. You're the dude who doesn't. They get the best of both worlds.
I'm
they
the
want
dude who
people,
cares about good movies, so let's do that.
and I don't.
Yeah. So we'll do that. I will write the Kang Dynasty, and I will make Moon Knight and Ramatut fight. Just to piss you off.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh come on, it'd be a little funny.
They would not. I'm so disappointed in Marvel. Like it's so bad. Like the Guardians trilogy, a phenomenal way to like sort of end things. But like it's so funny. After Guardians 3 released, so many people said, "All right, now that Guardians 3 is out, I can no longer care about the MCU."
That was kind of me to an extent.
Really?
I was like, "Well, that's the last one I'm hyped for. I'm curious for some, but that was the one I was like, well, I know it's gonna be good."
Like if the Marvels ends up being 2.5 hours, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't even care if people say it was good. I'm not gonna go see a 2.5 hour long Marvel movie. Like I want something that's fun and simple, that's not super long. Like because I've even seen that the FNAF movie is gonna be its current run. It's not picture locked yet, but its current working runtime is 3 hours.
I have a thought on that.
They need to be shorter.
how?
It needs to be shorter.
Yeah. How is the FNAF movie gonna be that long?
Well, because we don't know everything about the production, and really, because here's the thing, they've shown Springtrap. We know Springtrap
is in a pizzeria surviving.
Well, it's going to be 5 nights of this. It's going to be 5 nights of this.
I didn't think about it. That's true.
But also,
for some reason, I was just picturing it being like one insane night in a pizzeria.
Because here's the, like, I know for a fact there's going to be 5 nights, and I think that like, because we know that at some point the main character is going to bring in like a group of his friends to try and fight the pizzeria one night. Because we've seen that in the trailers, so you got to piece it together.
It doesn't look bad, by the way. FNAF.
It looks great.
Looks pretty good. I only have like a passing. I wouldn't even call it an interest in FNAF. Like a passing. Yeah, I keep up with it out of curiosity.
Me too. Like I would never play a FNAF game. I find it boring. But like the story, phenomenal.
Kind of. Some of those latest entries have been a little questionable.
Been weird.
It's been a little weird.
But really, I gotta say, the smart thing about the FNAF movie is that it's its own universe.
Yeah.
Best choice they could have made.
Dang it. Oh, jeez. Hardest
like
boss fight in the game.
I think like I'm gonna be real here. I don't think like this like I don't know. Like
Let's not do a cinematic universe.
People will not watch it if it's 3 hours. Like I won't. I can't sit through 3 hours of FNAF. They got to cut it down. But like I know that this film is gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a hit. I am guaranteeing we are in a video game movie renaissance.
We are,
and FNAF will be a massive success.
Yeah, the big thing with this,
especially if it's PG-13.
It is PG-13, but even bigger is that this film is made on like a tiny. It's made on It's made on a smaller budget too. So even if it only makes like $500 million,
still a success.
Yeah, that's a massive payback.
I'm about to finish the side story. Let's freaking go. It's interesting, ain't it?
Really, I think like it's going to be incredibly
what are
successful.
we even going to do for the thumbnail of this one?
I don't know, just a chaotic whatever.
I just like say I'll tell Mia to put like Rocket and Benoit Blanc and
Johnny Blue, and then just like a bunch of everything.
Johnny Blue, Pikmin, and Godzilla. Yes, last chip part. All right, going nice.
Really, do you want to end the episode? I'm willing to like keep talking for a while though. Just me and you, just normal talking.
Yeah, okay. We can end the episode. This was a weird short one. We'll probably do DC next because the Flash will be on
HBO Max, hopefully
soon. I hope so. I want to watch it. I want to cringe. As we're ending it, I finished the side story in Pikmin 4, so congratulate me.
Yippee! I will congratulate you.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you next time on The Fish Tank.
The Fish Tank. I'm going to cut you off again.
My
you better
name is
do this.
Star Topus, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Star